Howdy-ho, every universe. This is the 14th of January, and it's chilly. Although my weather avatar did just switch from actual snow to just cold, so I don't think there's any precipitation coming down, but you never know. Last 10 days, 14 days, something like that have been cold. And that's not what you're here for, nor me. Weather report aside, I know that I just recorded the 26th episode, and well, not just, I did it yesterday. But 27, 8, and 9 will be the last three before I get a chance to do another review, which will include another hero, which, preview surprise, not unexpected, will probably be somebody else in my family. Maybe even two people. But until then, that leaves me 3 episodes, 27, 28, 29. And there are 3 things that I don't think I've tackled very well. So I thought this would be a good time to tackle them. And so in this episode, I'm going to try to walk through why I think this is all my fault. And then the next one, the concept that I could have been any of you. And then finally on 29, what my plan is for the next phase. And that'll help address some of the things that I think I didn't really address very well before I get to the review episode, where I will go through all the mistakes I made in the Mandela episode, like batteries still not included, or some of the other mischaracteristics or mispronunciations or mistaken sequencing. I don't know. I made some mistakes in that episode beyond just audio. And some of the mistakes I made there were not being very explanatory regarding the particular quirk. For instance, the Lindbergh baby, who in my reality was kidnapped, never to be found, disappeared forever. Maybe I'm the Lindbergh baby was a joke because nobody ever knew where the Lindbergh baby ended up. But in this reality, Lindbergh baby was found murdered. And all evidence points to Charles Lindbergh, honestly, if you really look at it. So in my reality, till I shifted to this one, Lindbergh got away with it. And he got away with it in this reality too. So what's the fucking difference? It's just the kid's dead, which of course, after all those years, anybody with a common sense head knew the kid was dead in my reality anyway. But there's another theme that emerged, I think, in that episode, or if not, in one of the ones right after it, or the one right after it, which is, I do like to say that nobody is starting with less than me. Excuse me. That's not even weed. But as a matter of fact, I forgot to blow my nose before this episode. So if y'all will just hang on, I'm going to take off my headset and blow my nose. So stay where you are. For you see, I have been practicing better techniques to make sure that I am not recording in a capacity that is annoying, which I know I can't help, but I can minimize some of the truly annoying factors, especially ones like blowing my nose that I can control. So, and a couple of things about the triple shot here. Hey, kitty, stop it. Cat's going crazy on her wound right now. Hey, enough. Come here. It's, I already give I think I gave the time, whatever. That clock says it's 5:58, so it's 5:54 on 1/14/22, and I'm home because work didn't need me. So I have some free time off. That's another reason to do 3 episodes, because I'd like to go bang, bang, bang on these 3 ideas, because I do think they roll over into each other, but I don't want to do them all at once because I think that'll roll over into so much time nobody will want to listen to it. So that's where I'm at. And I just abandoned the whole concept that I am one to claim Nobody is starting with less than me. And I have treasure in this world that can't be quantified. The only way that nobody is starting with less than me is financially, because in addition to having zero money and debts owed and obligations to return to that have been left untouched in said state of affairs, I'm being leveraged against by at least 3 entities who are garnishing my wages for loans against all credit card debt and a car loan that during my gambling days went as far south as Antarctica, wherever you see south on this map of the world. But it was, it was a flame out of personal epic proportion. I'm sure there are more of you that have lost money in the stock market at a clip higher than what I've lost in a lifetime, but whatever. Good for you. Another reason I consider money to be somewhat silly is all of the time I spent in the casino going, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby. Anyway, and I have a ton of things in my life going right. I have people who care about me enough to give me shelter basically for free. I have the kind of access to information and people and community and history that I've never had in my life to uncover certain trends and cycles of this planet. There are just so many ways in which I truly have gifts. I don't feel like I'm starting with nothing at all. As a matter of fact, I feel like I'm starting way down the road. I just am trying to speak to the concept of what we as a community think of having stuff or having, accumulated financial worth, or even, having asset worth or any of that stuff. I don't even know what to call it. That's how none of it I have. How none of it I have, like my grandma. So I know having the support of a loving family and a safe zone in which to come out of my cocoon couldn't be more valuable. If you think I mistake the value therein, I do not. I have swung my life pretty much entirely toward that value because I know how much it retains. So, again, I am starting with nothing in the concept that as a guy working at King Soopers who can barely pay his heat bill and still behind on rent, that's me. But so what? God, I'm not talking to him on this one. God, you're not involved. So what? And I will hitherto refer to my situation as one of full of riches of a different kind, because I know I am. And I am being less than fair with my entire scope of life if I don't acknowledge that I am not starting with less than everybody else, because I have support and I have the understanding of people who love me, which might be the most valuable thing you can have in the universe. So, all right, getting on from that point. Why do I think it's all my fault? Well, for one, the camel lionesses have told me that. When I say I was getting messaging that the universe was my fault, it was sort of in a reflection from everything in the universe back at me. And I'm not saying that you're not all experiencing exactly the same thing, and it's going to reverberate as exactly your experience. And you'll think, well, if I'm having this exact experience, well, how can he be having an experience that he described that way? This is my experience. It may be that way, that we all manifest universes that reverberate the context in which we both live and need to be taught to live by the universe to be effective. Let me explain. I think I see in all of the cast of characters now entering my life with prominent roles, for instance, assistant store manager, for instance, store manager, for instance, guy I work with the most, for instance, other guy I work with the most. These characters are caricatures of certain elements of how I played the world, both in my best intention and in my worst. I can see them in those capacities. And I can see those capacities across all of the people I see. I can see those capacities across all of the news stories that are being created. I can see the capacities across all of the interdepartmental corruption that is occurring. I can see the capacities across my entire reality and universe. As things go in the world at large that is this surreal, uncertain, chaotic, nobody knows what to trust because everything feels like it's full of shit situation, who does that sound like? Oh, I don't even know if I can call myself New John and Old John, because New Coke and Old Coke, as we come to know now, was all about switching over to high fructose corn syrup from sugar to save money. But I am not the new version for saving money, because obviously I have failed at that. But Old John sounds a lot like this universe. So how am I not supposed to think that this is all my fault? Everywhere I look, I see myself. I'm stunned. Think of the good things that have come out of this. What did I always want? I wanted access to the biggest encyclopedia in the world so I could know everything. Here's the internet. All right, sweet. What else did I want access to? Well, I did sleep with a lot of girls over the course of time, but I was kind of slippery in the way that, I would get laid. So I'm not saying I raped girls, but I'm saying that it was easy for me to understand what would make you feel sexy for the night and then fill that role. And so I think porn would be a lot easier. Okay, well, we'll just put porn everywhere. Sweet! Until you realize how vacuous porn is. My point is, no matter how I want to look at the yin-yang of this universe, I see it running with the blood of Johnny, old Johnny, wherever I look. Everywhere. The politicians, old Johnny. The teachers attacked, old Johnny. The students, not sure what the point of their education is, old Johnny. The neighbors huddled up, masked up, unwilling to reach out in communal Congress, old Johnny. The fear, the schadenfreude, the lies, the discontent, the internal uncertainty, the media manipulation, the straight up backroom handshake dealing rule of thumb that this country truly runs on. Old Johnny. I hate it. I hate that because I couldn't act with more integrity for my puberty years. We're stuck here in this soup full of letters from another alphabet. But if all my disregard for the value of cosmic connection led to this, then rediscovering that and enforcing the true rule of John, kindness, understanding, forgiveness, should change my whole universe back to one that's kind, understanding, and forgiving. From this black eye of a little league ball player that we're left with, I don't want to live in this universe. How could you? Who are you that you think you're maxing out your cosmic chance with the universe we're currently experiencing? Who are you? Are you Rupert Murdoch's kids? Are you the Walton family? I mean, who are you if that's where you're at? King Saud? Otherwise, bullshit. I call bullshit. This universe sucks. This isn't the way it should be, the way it could be, or the way it needs to be. It's none of the above. It's the way we're letting it be. And I refuse to let it be this way anymore. Let it be. No copyright infringement intended. Because you can't own 3-word phrases like let it be. It's too common to say. So I shouldn't even have to say that. Let it be. But somewhere in this universe, the lawyers got too serious, so everything got litigated. The pharmaceutical interests got too moneyed, so everything got drugged up. The politicians got too sleazy, so everything got to be not what you know, but who you know. And the religious got too self-righteous and stepped into corners of our civilization that they don't deserve to be. They're not bringing us spirituality. They're bringing us I do not want to live in some sort of a Christian version of the universe where only the self-righteous who can tell others how to have sex have any say as to what's moral. Anyone who is using anything as a framework to tell other people how they are misled and need to change their ways is wrong. I will never tell you how to live. You choose how to live. Your life is your journey. I do not get to declare anything of value in your journey, nor do you get to do that in mine. I do not want to see us lose our right to privacy, and I do not want to see us lose our draw to community. They are both critical for the human experience to exist in a mentally stable and in an intellectually progressive way. We can't stop being able to have private thoughts. We can't stop being able to have private moments of just testing out who we really are without it coming back to haunt us for the rest of our lives. I don't want to live in a world that documents every single incident of my life, because my life isn't one that I want to remember every single incident within it. Why do you think memory fades? It gives us an opportunity to forgive ourselves from some of our less than A+ moments. Well, I'll certainly walk through this a lot more. But for now, I do think this universe is my fault. Because I could have done so much better, just like we all could have in this universe. So maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you think, well, this universe is all my fault, bro. I can outfault your fault. Okay, great. Then I've got an ally, a comrade, what do they say down south in Australia? A mate. On my journey to making the whole thing better. Stop with accents right now. because I do accents poorly, as you can tell. I actually asked the guy at the counter if he was Italian. He said, no, I'm French. I said, well, I'm American, so what you expect, Italian, Frenchy, Euro boy? And he laughed. But accents are not my thing. Just like haircuts are not my thing. Do you know what one of the most common girlfriend complaints I ever had in my whole life? Why didn't you notice that I got my hair cut? You didn't even notice. I'd be like, well, I kind of thought maybe you combed it differently. Stupid response. Trust me, that is not a good one. Immediately fess up with, that's a fair criticism, and I will do everything I can to be better on this one. And then target her date book for whatever her hair salon appointment days are, and put that in your phone, so that day you come home and go, oh my God, I love your new hair. Or you can't win that argument. But how I ended up there, nobody knows, not even me. So it's time to sign off. But the fact that this universe is all my fault means I don't want any of the accolades if this universe recovers. That won't be my work in reverse. No, that will be our collective work. We don't get to make this universe better except through collectively acting together harmoniously toward an outcome that is for all of us. If we're all here, then we all did just enough to end up here. And no, this isn't hell, and we're not all here because of our sins of our past. This isn't some prison planet. I'm saying the only way to a truly harmonious civilization is for all of us to pitch in and give something. So I can lead by example, but I know that my example has to filter out across everybody else getting somehow motivated in their own way too. And that's the solution, which I will talk more about when I get to my next step. Episode 2 from now, episode 29. Promotional material provided solely by the provider of the material of the promotion. Okay, I think that's twisted enough, right?